The arena is dark and full of theories.
President Coriolanus Snow sits at his desk, 76 years old. White hair, white rose in his lapel masking blood and rose's breath from decades of poisoning rivals. The wooden box sits before him. Every capital citizen knows its theater. The president selects whatever card serves his current needs, performs discovery for cameras. He opens the box, removes the card, reads, "On the 75th anniversary of the Hunger Games, as a reminder to the rebels that even the strongest cannot protect their loved ones, the tributes will be drawn from the immediate families of existing victors." The broadcast transmits across Panem, every district, every screen. Mandatory viewing, 75 living victors and their families absorb the words, silence, vast, physical. Then it breaks. District 4, Finnick O'Dare's home. Finnick smashes a mirror with his bare fist. Glass shatters, blood on knuckles. Annie Cresta, his love, District 4 victor, fragile from her games, stands in the doorway. "Finnick, what?" "He's targeting families." Finnick doesn't look at her, begins writing. List of names. Every victor with a child, a sibling, a parent. He's putting them all in the arena. But you don't have, others do. Cedar has nieces. Chaff has a daughter. The careers have children. He keeps writing, "This isn't about me, it's about all of us." Annie moves closer. "What are you going to do?" Finnick looks up. "Stop it before it starts." District 7, Johanna Mason's home. Johanna watches the broadcast, laughs, not from amusement, from recognition. Her escort, Blight, one of the few people she tolerates, stares at her. "You think this is funny? I think it's predictable." Johanna stands, begins packing. Weapons. Supplies? Snow already killed my family years ago. Mother, father, little brother, all dead because I wouldn't play nice after my games. Then why are you packing? Because other people still have families, and I'm done watching Snow take things from people. She throws an axe into her bag. I'm going to the capital. To do what? Whatever needs doing. District 11. Chaff and Cedar's meeting. They sit in Cedar's kitchen. Silence for 60 seconds after the broadcast ends. Chaff breaks it. "My daughter. They'll take my daughter. Lives with her mother in the East District. Hasn't spoken to me in 2 years. His voice cracks. Blames me for winning, for becoming this. And now she's going to die for it. Not if we stop it first." Chaff looks at her. "How? We're mentors. We can't volunteer, can't fight instead of them. There's no mechanism. Not this time, Chaff. We don't let them take our children. Not this time." District 2, Career Victor Emergency Meeting. 7 career victors in one room. Windows covered, doors locked. Brutus presides. Oldest, most experienced, most tactical. They've made a mistake. Brutus doesn't raise his voice. Doesn't need to. They think because we're career victors, because we've been comfortable, because we've cooperated, that we'll let this happen. Lime speaks up. "My nephew is 18, prime reaping age. They'll take him in Obaria. My sister's children, twin girls, 14. Brutus, my son, 16, training to volunteer next year like I did. Now he might go in against his will." He looks at each of them. "The capital's been using us for years, making us train their tributes, making us perform loyalty, making us smile while district children die. We did it because the alternative was worse. That calculation just changed." "What are you proposing?" Lime asks. "We flip. Completely. We take everything they taught us, tactics, weapons, security protocols, and we turn it against them. Kill our families. They're already planning to kill our families in an arena, on television, for entertainment." Brutus leans forward. "The question isn't whether we fight, it's whether we fight smart or die watching." Silence in Obaria. I'm in. Lime, I'm in. One by one, all 7. The capital, Plutarch Heavensby's office. Plutarch excuses himself from the Game Maker planning session, locks his office door, pulls out a secure communicator, highly illegal, connects directly to District 13. A voice crackles through. "President Coin, we saw the broadcast. Then you know the arena extraction plan is obsolete. Plutarch paces. The tributes are civilians. Children. They won't survive long enough for the lightning strike. We need a different approach. The tribute center. They'll be there 9 days before the games. Fixed location, known security architecture. Much easier to breach than the arena." Coin is silent for 10 seconds. You're talking about a prison break. I'm talking about preventing them from ever reaching the arena. The victors will be there as mentors, 24 of them if we can coordinate. That's extremely dangerous. High probability of casualties. Higher probability if we wait for the arena. In the center, we control more variables. We have sympathetic staff. We have time to plan. Plutarch stops pacing. It's the only chance. Another silence. Then proceed. I'll position the hovercraft. You coordinate with the victors, and Plutarch, don't get caught. Wouldn't dream of it. District 12. The Square. Reaping Day. Effie Trinket stands at the microphone, clearly briefed, visibly struggling. As announced in the Quarter Quell, the tributes will be drawn from the immediate families of existing victors. Eligible family members have been separated into their own pool. Her voice cracks. Primrose Everdeen. The Square goes silent. Absolute. Devastated, Katniss moves before Effie finishes. Running toward the stage, 6 peacekeepers intercept her. She fights, breaks one's nose, dislocates another shoulder, screaming. Prim turns on the stage, clear voice carrying across the square, Katniss, stop. Not from fear, from recognition. Prim needs her to function, needs her to think, not scream. Her eyes go flat. The peacekeepers holding her describe this moment as more frightening than her struggle. Effie reaches into the mail pool. Alaric Malark doesn't struggle, doesn't cry, finds Peeta in the crowd, holds eye contact in that look. I'm not afraid. I know what this is. I'm ready. Prim and Alaric stand together. Effie tries to continue the ceremony. Her voice barely functions. Ladies and gentlemen, the tributes from District 12. The train station, 30 minutes later. Katniss tries to reach Prim. Peacekeepers block her. Mentors board separately. Tributes first. She's 13 years old. Mentors board separately. Prime appears in the train doorway. Katniss, it's okay. I'll see you in 10 minutes. I promise. Prim's voice is steadier than Katniss's. 13 years old and steadier. We'll figure this out together, just like always. The door closes. Prim disappears inside. Katniss stands on the platform, shaking, every instinct screaming to break through the peacekeepers, get to Prim, protect her. Peeta appears beside her. She's right. We'll figure this out. How? I can't volunteer. Can't take her place. Can't. Katniss's voice breaks. No, but you can make sure she survives. Peeta's voice is quiet. Certain. You can train her, prepare her, give her every advantage, and we can get her out before the arena. Katniss looks at him. What are you talking about? I'm talking about not letting them put her in that arena. Whatever it takes. The tribute train District 12 to Capitol. Hour 6, Haymitch sits in the observation car, staring at the bottle in his hand. Hasn't opened it. Hasn't drunk. 6 hours sober. First time in years. Katniss finds him there. You're not drinking. Astute observation. Haymitch sets the bottle down. Seems inappropriate. Given the circumstances, since when do you care about appropriate? Since they reaped your sister. Haymitch looks at her. I've sent 47 children to die in those arenas. Mentored them, drank to forget them, not doing that this time. What are you doing? Thinking. First time in 20 years without liquor slowing me down. He stands, walks to the window. They made a mistake with this quell. Normally it's 2 mentors per district, isolated, powerless. Now it's 24 victors in the same building for 9 days. 24 people who've survived the games, who know the Capitol's systems, who have combat experience, who have nothing left to lose. He turns back to her. That's not a mentoring corps. That's an army. Katniss processes this. You're talking about fighting. I'm talking about getting them out before the arena, before the gong sounds, before Snow gets what he wants. How? But I will, because I'm sober and angry and I'm done watching. Haymitch picks up the bottle, walks to the sink, pours it out. Get Peeta, get Prim, get Alaric. We're having a staff meeting. 20 minutes later, the dining car. They sit around the table. Katniss, Prim, Peeta, Alaric, Haymitch. Effie hovers nervously by the door. Haymitch speaks first. We're not going to the Capitol to mentor. We're going to gather information and prepare for extraction. Prime, extraction. Before the games begin, the Tribute Center is a building, not an arena. Buildings can be breached. Buildings have guards, cameras, locked doors, all things that can be defeated. I'm talking about survival. yours, theirs, all 24 tributes. Haymitch looks at each of them, but it only works if we coordinate with the other victors, which means we need to communicate carefully, covertly, once we're in the capital. Peta. Plutarch Heavensby is head game maker. He's rebel sympathetic if we can reach him. We will, through official channels disguised as innocent communications, sponsor gift requests, training evaluations, mentor consultations. Haymitch looks at Prim and Alaric. You two train as hard as possible, not for the arena, for what comes before. The training period is the only time you'll have weapons, and the only time your movements won't be maximally surveilled. Haymitch smiles. First time in years. Fast, sweetheart, very fast. The next morning, training car. Katniss begins training Prim. Archery equipment, training supplies, standard victor preparation materials. Starts with grip. Your hand position is wrong. Thumb here, fingers here. Pull to your anchor point, here, beside your jaw. Prim attempts the draw. Shaky, uncertain. Again. They drill for an hour. Katniss correcting form, angle, release. Each correction precise. Clinical, treating Prim as tribute, not sister. Only way to function? Finally, Prim lowers the bow. I'm never going to be as good as you. You don't need to be as good as me. You need to be good enough. Katniss takes the bow. Demonstrates archery is about patience, precision, waiting for the right shot. But you know what's more important than shooting? What? Not getting shot at in the first place? Katniss sets the bow down. You're not a warrior, Prim. You're a healer. You know anatomy. You know where bodies are vulnerable. You know how to cause damage and how to prevent it. That's your advantage. Prim considers this. You want me to use medical knowledge as a weapon. I want you to use everything you have. Your intelligence, your hands, your knowledge of plants and poisons and human anatomy. I want you alive, Prim. However that happens. Prim picks up a small training knife. Tests the weight. Will you teach me where to cut? Katniss looks at her 13-year-old sister holding a blade. The girl she's protected her entire life. The girl she's now teaching to kill. Yes. Katniss demonstrating escape techniques. If someone larger grabs you from behind, like this, she takes Prim's wrist, demonstrates the hold. Prim's wrist, exact width, exact shape, held it 1,000 times before. Different contexts, different meanings. Katniss freezes. Can't move, can't breathe, can't continue. Prim notices immediately. Katniss, at the demonstration that suddenly became something else. Katniss, I'm okay. Katniss releases the wrist, walks to far end of training car, stands facing wall, breathing, just breathing. Prim follows, doesn't touch her, just stands nearby, waiting. Finally, Katniss speaks, voice barely audible. I can't do this. You're 13. I'm 13 and I'm going to the capital, and I need you to teach me how to survive. Prim's voice is steady, calm. I need you to be my mentor, not my sister, just for a little while. Can you do that? Katniss turns, looks at Prim, sees her clearly. Not the child she's protected, the person she's becoming. Strong, certain, unafraid. Okay, Katniss wipes her eyes, returns to the center of the car. Let's continue. From the beginning, they resume the drill. Katniss's voice steady now. Clinical. Teaching escape techniques. Pressure points. Vulnerable areas. Prim learns. Absorbs practices. Becomes incrementally more dangerous. Not because she wants to be, because she has to be. The capital. Tribute center. Arrival. 24 tributes arrive over 2 days. Prim and Alaric among the first. The tribute center is psychological architecture, luxury designed to create ambivalence, make tributes feel the capital is generous rather than cruel. Fails entirely. First night. Common dining area, 3 separate groups of tributes gather. Refuse to disperse when ordered to rooms. A peacekeeper approaches. Tributes must return to individual quarters. A girl from District 4, 16, Finnick's cousin, speaks up. Why? We're not doing anything wrong, just talking. Individual quarters. Now. Largest person in the room. We'll go to our rooms when we're ready. We're just getting to know each other. You are tributes, not friends. We're people, and we're talking. That's not against the rules. Standoff. Peacekeeper considering whether to enforce physically, decides against it. Too many witnesses, too many tributes, too early for violence. 1 hour. Then quarters. The peacekeeper leaves. The girl from District 4 looks at Alaric. Thanks. Don't mention it. I'm Alaric. District 12. Coral. District 4. That's my little brother Wade. He's 14. Around the room, introductions, names, ages, districts, families. They're not sizing each other up as future murder victims. They're becoming human beings to each other. This terrifies the Capitol more than anything. The mentor wing. Same night. 24 victors in one building. Unprecedented. The mentors have separate quarters but shared common areas. By design, they're supposed to stay separated, isolated, focused on individual tributes. Instead, they converge. Finnick finds Katniss in the observation lounge. Your sister. How's she holding up? Better than I am. Katniss doesn't look away from the window. She's scared but functional, thinking tactically. I taught her that. Don't know if I should be proud or horrified. Both. That's parenthood, even when you're the sister. Finnick sits beside her. I've been thinking about what Haymitch said. On the train. About extraction. Simple. Easy to miss if you're not looking for it. He's right. 24 victors in one building, 9 days before the games. This is an opportunity. For what? To stop the games before they start? Finnick looks at her directly. I have contacts in the Capitol. People who owe me favors. Information about security systems. Building layouts. Guard rotations. I've been gathering it for years. Never knew what I'd use it for. Now I do. Katniss processes this. You're talking about the tribute center operation Haymitch mentioned. I'm talking about getting all 24 tributes out. Before the gong sounds. Before Snow gets his show. Finnick stands. But we need coordination, every victor working together, one plan, one execution. We do this, it's all or nothing. When? Attention shifting to arena preparation. That's our window. And if it fails? Finnick's expression hardens. Then we die trying. But at least we die fighting, not watching. Day 2. Training floor. 8 o'clock hours. The tribute center's training floor is massive. Every weapon imaginable. Climbing walls. Obstacle courses, survival stations, all designed to prepare tributes for the arena. What the Capitol doesn't realize, it's also an armory. Katniss watches Prim at the edible plants station, learning to distinguish safe from poisonous. Memorizing nightlock, hemlock, foxglove. The instructor, a Capitol botanist, explains medicinal uses. Prim asks about lethal doses. The instructor, uncomfortable, answers anyway. Across the floor, Alaric works with weights, building strength. Peeta observes, making mental notes. His brother has always been strong, bakery work does that, but now he's training systematically, preparing. Johanna Mason appears beside Peeta, doesn't announce herself. Just there, your brother. He's not afraid. He's angry. Peeta watches Alaric. He spent 3 years watching me navigate Capitol politics, watching me perform gratitude for a system that tried to kill me. He's done performing. Good. Anger is useful. Fear makes you freeze. Anger makes you move. Johanna picks up a training axe, tests the weight. We're having a meeting tonight. All the victors, Finnick's quarters, 23 o'clock. No cameras in the private suites. We'll discuss the plan. What plan? The one where we get them out of here. Tell Katniss. Tell Haymitch. Don't tell anyone else. Johanna walks away. Peeta finds Katniss at the archery station. Prim practicing draws. Form improving. Still not Katniss level, but competent. Prim, take a break. Hydrate. Prim nods. Leaves for the water station. Katniss turns to Peeta. What is it? Johanna. Meeting tonight. All victors. Finnick's quarters. They're planning the extraction. Tonight, we've only been here 2 days, which means we have 7 days left. Clock's running. Peeta lowers his voice. Haymitch was right. This is an army. 24 combat veterans. We just need coordination and a plan that doesn't get everyone killed. Finnick has intelligence. Building layout, security protocols, guard rotations. He's been gathering it for years. Katniss looks at him. Why would Finnick have that? Peeta's expression darkens. Because Snow's been selling him to Capitol elites since he was 14. He's been in their private quarters, their offices, places he shouldn't have seen. He memorized everything. The weight of this settles, what Finnick endured, what he learned. what he's been preparing for. We'll be there. 23 o'clock hours. 24 victors crowded into a suite designed for one. Finnick's quarters are identical to the others. Luxurious, monitored. Except for one detail. The bathroom. No cameras there. Capital maintains some illusions of privacy. They gather in the bathroom. Door closed, water running in the sink. White noise to mass conversation. 24 people in a space meant for one. Standing, sitting on the floor. Pressed against walls. Finnick speaks first. Quiet. Controlled. We have 7 days the night before the games. Security drops guards exhausted from 9 days of elevated alert. Attention shifts to arena preparation. That's when we move. Brutus from District 2. Move how? This building has 40 peacekeepers, automated defenses, surveillance on every floor. Surveillance that can fail. I have a contact in maintenance. Sympathetic to our cause, he can trigger a rolling blackout through the camera network. 8 to 12 minutes of degraded coverage. Enough time. Johanna, enough time for what? To fight 40 peacekeepers? No. To eliminate them quietly, floor by floor before they realize what's happening. Finnick pulls out hand-drawn maps, floor plans, guard positions. I've been mapping this building for days. 2 guards per floor during overnight shift, 1 supervisor per section, predictable rotations. Cedar from District 11, you're talking about killing them. I'm talking about removing obstacles between us and the tributes. Finnick's voice hardens. They're going to put our families in an arena to murder each other for entertainment. I'm not asking permission to stop that. I'll handle that floor personally. Inobaria from District 2. My nieces are on floor 5. I'll take that floor. Around the room, victors claiming floors, claiming their families back. Hamish, what about extraction? Say we secure the building. Say we get all 24 tributes to the roof. Then what? District 13 hovercraft. I've been in contact with Plutarch. He's coordinating with President Coin. Hovercraft will be in position. We get the tributes to the roof. The hovercraft extracts. Lime from District 2. That's a lot of variables. A lot of things that can go wrong. Yes, but it's the only plan that doesn't end with our families dying in an arena. Finnick looks at each of them. I'm doing this, with or without you. But I'd rather do it with you. Silence, then Katniss. I'm in. Hamish, I'm in. 1 by 1, all 24, day 3. Training floor. Covert communication begins. The victors can't meet openly again. Too suspicious, too obvious. Instead, they develop alternate communication methods. Training notes left at stations appear to be technical advice, actually encode operational information. Katniss leaves a note for Prim at the archery station. Focus on close-range accuracy. Maximum effect, minimum exposure. Translation for Cedar, who retrieves it. My floor, close quarters combat expected. Preparing for minimal exposure time. Cedar leaves a note at the edible plants station for Chaff's daughter. Study nightlock properties thoroughly. Understand dosage and delivery. Sponsor gift requests become high bandwidth covert channel. Specific combinations encode messages to Plutarch's handlers. PETA requests for Alaric bread from District 12 bakery. Specific recipe, raisin nut. 2 loaves. Plutarch, reading this in Game Maker Suite, understands. 2 assault teams ready. District 12 floor secured. Physical communication system develops. Hand gestures. Eye contact patterns. Body positions. Finnick demonstrating knife technique to his tribute. Left hand positioned specific way. Johanna across the room observes. Adjusts her own hand position on her axe. Acknowledgement received. To Capital observers, it's victors doing their jobs. Training tributes. Being mentors. Actually, military coordination in plain sight. Day 4, Prim and Alaric as couriers. The tributes have more freedom than victors. Less monitored. Less suspected. Victors are dangerous. Tributes are victims. Prim moves between training stations, helping younger tributes, offering medical knowledge, sharing plant identification tips, carries folded note in her training glove. From Katniss to Cedar, operational update disguised as medical supply list, delivers it during bathroom break. Cedar reading list install, memorizes, destroys. Alaric does the same, moving weights between stations, helping organize equipment, actually carrying intelligence, messages hidden in water bottles, towels, Training gear. District 6 tribute. 11 years old, youngest in the Quell, asks Alaric a question at the climbing wall. Are we really going to be okay? Yes. How do you know? Because the victors aren't going to let anything happen to us. Trust them. When they move, you move. Fast as you can. Understand. The girl nods. Alaric stands. Returns to training. Has just briefed an 11-year-old on escape protocols without anyone noticing. Day 5. Katniss and Prim. Private training session. Evening, most tributes and quarters. Training floor nearly empty. Katniss requested private session for intensive archery work. Approved. They're alone in the archery section. Targets at various distances. Katniss hands Prim the bow. Show me what you've learned. Prim draws. Aims. Releases arrow hits target. Not center, but solid hit, 15 meters. Better. Again. Another arrow. Closer to center. Again. Third arrow. Even closer. Katniss lowers the bow. Good. You're improving. But archery isn't your strength. I know. So we focus on what is. Katniss sets the bow down, pulls out the small training knife, close quarters, precision targeting, healer's knowledge of anatomy. Where would I cut? Katniss doesn't hesitate. Can't hesitate. This is survival. Femoral artery. Inner thigh. Here. Sever it, they bleed out in minutes. Carotid artery. Neck. Here. Unconscious in seconds, dead in minutes. Brachial artery. Inner arm. Here. Disabling, massive blood loss. Prim listens, memorizes. Hands steady. But the best option is don't get close enough for anyone to grab you. Evasion first, fighting last. Understand? I understand. Prim looks at her sister. Katniss, are we really getting out of here? How can you be sure? Because I'm not letting you go into that arena. Neither is Haymitch, neither is Finnick or Johanna or any of the other victors. We're getting all of you out. Before the gong sounds. When? Night before the games. When they think we're preparing for the opening ceremony. When their guard is lowest. We move then. Prim processes this. What do I do? When the cameras fail, and they will fail, you move to your door. Wait for me, I'll come for you. Then we go to the stairwell. Fast. Don't hesitate. Don't look back. Just run. Prime. Katniss grabs her sister's shoulders. First time she's touched her like this, not as mentor and tribute, as sisters, since the reaping. I need you to promise me something. What? Whatever happens on that roof, however bad it gets, you keep moving, you get on that hovercraft. Even if I'm not there yet, even if it looks bad, you get on that hovercraft and you go. Promise me. Prim's eyes fill. I'm not leaving you. You are if you have to. Promise me. Long silence. Then, I promise. They hold each other, 13-year-old girl and her sister, in a training room in the capital, preparing for war. Day 6. The session Katniss cannot complete. Hand-to-hand combat drill. Katniss demonstrating escape from larger opponent's hold, takes Prim's wrist to show the grip. Prim's wrist, exact width, exact shape. Held it 1,000 times, pulling her from nightmares, holding her at reapings, gripping her during thunderstorms. Katniss freezes, cannot move, cannot continue, cannot process the demonstration that suddenly became something else. Prim speaks quietly. Katniss, it's okay. I'm here. It's just training. Katniss releases the wrist, walks to far wall, stands with back to Prim, takes 11 measured breaths. Across the training floor, Finnick observes. Understands exactly what just happened. Makes note. Katniss is close to psychological limit. Needs monitoring. After 60 seconds, Katniss returns. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Be my mentor. Teach me. Prim's voice steady. I need this, Katniss. I need to know how to fight, how to survive. You're the only one who can teach me. Katniss nods, resumes the drill. Voice clinical now. Professional. Teaching escape techniques, pressure points, vulnerable areas. They drill for another hour. When they finish, both exhausted, both shaking, both holding together through pure will. Day 7, full operational readiness achieved. Evening, Victor Network has become functioning military cell. Everyone knows their assignment. Everyone knows the plan. Everyone ready. Final coordination meeting, bathrooms across all Victor quarters, simultaneous 4 Victors per bathroom, minimizes detection, maximizes coverage. Katniss's bathroom, her, Peeta, Haymitch. Johanna speaks first. Floor assignments confirmed. Katniss has floor 1. I have floor 3. Finnick has floor 2. Others distributed across remaining floors. Haymitch, weapons. Metal rods from exercise machines. Climbing rope. Small blades. Improvised but effective. Peta, timing. 2:47. Iris triggers power cascade. Cameras fail floor by floor. We move simultaneously. Estimated time to secure all floors, 20 minutes. Assembly point central stairwell, extraction point roof. Katniss, casualties, silence. None of them want to say it. Finally, Haymitch, expected, probable. We minimize them. But we don't stop for them. That's cold. That's reality. We're extracting 24 tributes from a fortified building while fighting 40 guards with 24 improvised weapons. Casualties are inevitable. Question is whether we accept that and proceed, or let all 24 tributes die in the arena. What about the tributes? They know what to do. Johanna, they know to stay in their rooms until their mentor comes. They know to move fast when told. They know the assembly point. They've been briefed through the courier system. They're ready. They're children. Children going to the roof instead of the arena. I'll take it. Johanna checks her watch. 2 more days, then we move. Night before the games, 23 o'clock hours. The tribute center settles into overnight mode. Tributes in quarters, victors in quarters. Guards on patrol. Minimal staffing, attention shifting toward tomorrow's opening ceremony. This is the window. Katniss doesn't sleep, sits against wall beside her door. Climbing rope coiled, metal rod within reach. Been awake 4 hours. We'll be awake 4 more. Across the building, 23 other victors doing the same. Waiting, preparing, knowing that in less than 3 hours everything changes. 2:43. Signal transmitted. Plutarch and Gamemaker Suite receive sponsor gift request. Seemingly innocent. Actually the signal. Transmits to District 13. Hovercraft begins approach. 2:47. Iris triggers power cascade. In the building's electrical room, maintenance worker codenamed Iris executes his task. Series of switches flipped, micro adjustments to power routing. Cameras begin failing. Floor by floor. Top of building rolling downward. Not total blackout. Degraded failure. Takes 8 to 12 minutes to diagnose and restore. 8 to 12 minutes is what they need. Victors move. Floor 1. Katniss. 2:47. Katniss exits her suite. Rope and metal rod in hand. Hasn't slept. Fully prepared, moving with hunter's precision. Corridor dark except emergency lighting. Guard at far end. Reading data tablet, Corporal Antonius Vex. 8 years peacekeeper service, no field combat experience. Katniss approaches from behind. Silent, patient, hunter, stalking prey. The guard notices too late, reaches for radio, doesn't make it. What happens is efficient, clinical, necessary. The guard doesn't suffer, doesn't make sound. Katniss doesn't feel hesitation, doesn't feel guilt, feels only certainty. This guard is obstacle between her and Prim. Obstacles must be removed. She moves to Prim's door, knocks twice. Their signal. Door opens immediately. Prim dressed, holding small blade, eyes clear, focused. Katniss looks at her sister exactly 1 second. Takes Prim's hand, same wrist, same grip. 1001. Ready? Finnick and his tribute, Coral 16, District 4, encounter unexpected patrol. 2 guards instead of expected 1. Random variation the plan accounted for with 30-second buffer. Finnick eliminates first guard in close quarters. Trident work, fast, efficient. Second guard reaches for radio. Transmits 2 seconds broken audio before Coral, fisherman's daughter not easily rattled, disabels him with training knife. They look at each other. First time she's killed. First time seeing Finnick kill. We keep moving. Finnick's voice steady, calm. Don't stop, don't think about it, just move. Coral nods. They proceed to stairwell. Floor 3, Johanna. 2:49. First serious resistance. Guard has radio. Reaches it before Johanna can prevent transmission. Transmits approximately 2 seconds. Johanna silences him. But damage done. Capitol Monitoring Center logs transmission. Takes 90 seconds to classify as emergency versus equipment noise. Another 60 to dispatch additional security. 150-second response lag. within operational tolerance. Barely. Johanna retrieves her tribute, 14-year-old boy, terrified but functional, and moves to stairwell double time. Floor 4, Haymitch. 250, one guard. Haymitch approaches without concealment, walking openly. Confused, slightly unsteady. Performance of drunk Victor security team watched 9 days. Guard looks up. Mentor Abernathy, you should be in your quarters. Got turned around, looking for the bathroom. Haymitch stumbles slightly, sells it perfectly. Guard sighs, stands. I'll escort you back. Appreciate it. Guard turns. Haymitch hits him once with metal rod held behind his back. Guard drops. Haymitch looks down at him, like not drinking for a week, necessary and long overdue. Moves to stairwell. Floor 5, Chaff, 251. Chaff is largest living Victor. Guard sees him moving with intent in darkened corridor. Makes poor decision about reaching for weapon. Chaff eliminates him in seconds. One hand. That's all he needs. His daughter, 15, hasn't spoken to him in 2 years. Stares at him from her doorway. Dad, she takes it. First time in 2 years. They move to stairwell together. Floor 6. Woof. 252. First Victor casualty. Woof from District 8 encounters guard faster than expected. More capable. Struggle ensues. Guard fires. Hits Woof in shoulder. Woof doesn't go down. Years of games training. Pain tolerance. Survival instinct. Completes his objective. Eliminates guard. Retrieves tribute. Blood trail follows them to stairwell. Later used by Capitol investigators reconstructing timeline. Central stairwell. The choke point. 257. All 24 victors and tributes converging. Floor supervisor received partial alert from floor 3 transmission. Dispatched reinforcement. 6 peacekeepers to stairwell. They arrive same moment as first wave of victors. 30 seconds of extreme violence in confined space. Neither side anticipated this configuration. Victors outnumbered but individually superior. Peacekeepers better armed but unprepared for 24 simultaneous combatants. Peacekeepers lose, but casualties taken, 3 victors wounded, 1 tribute, 17 from District 9. Hit. Wound not immediately obvious as fatal, will prove to be. The survivors push through, blood on the walls, bodies in the stairwell, no time to process, just move. The roof? 309. They burst onto the roof. Open platform? Exposed. Terrible extraction point, but only option. District 13, hovercraft approaches. 3 minutes early. Pilot exploiting favorable conditions. Fortunate and dangerous simultaneously. Alarm cascade begins 311. Capital armed response dispatched 312. First 20 tributes and victors board by 314. Remaining 8 still crossing roof when Capital response arrives. Katniss, Prim, Peta, Alaric, Johanna, Cedar. 2 tributes from District 6 and 10. 80 meters from hovercraft door. 20 peacekeepers via roof stairwell and rapid deployment hovercraft. Capital hovercraft smaller, faster, lightly armed. Nighthawk larger, slower, heavily armored. Exchange of fire above the Capitol at 3 morning. 12,000 Capitol citizens watch from residential buildings. Several record. Footage becomes revolutionary media. First-time Capitol citizens see military force turn toward Capitol instead of away. Katniss hit by glancing round left shoulder 316. Doesn't stop. Doesn't let go of Prim's hand. Peta beside her. Katniss, not here. Tribute from District 6. 11 years old. Youngest in Quell, being carried by Alaric when Peacekeeper aims directly at child. Alaric sees. Turns his body between child and shot. Takes impact in back. Doesn't go down. Pain management. Adrenaline, determination, makes it to hovercraft, hands child to waiting hands inside, collapses. Cedar 12 meters from door when sustained burst hits her twice. Goes down in way Chaff, already at door, recognizes as final. Chaff turns back. Protocol explicit. No one turns back. Hovercraft cannot wait. Every second increases probability catastrophic loss. Chaff turns back. Finnick from hovercraft door screams his name. Chaff, no. Chaff doesn't stop, reaches Cedar, kneels, she's conscious, barely, blood spreading across her clothes. Knows what this means. Go, her voice wet. Struggling. Not leaving you. You have to. Your daughter, she's on the hovercraft. She needs you. Cedar, I'm not going to watch children die. Not again. Not once more. She smiles, blood on her teeth. But you are. You're going to protect them, all of them. Promise me. I promise. Then go. Chaff stays 20 more seconds, holding her hand until peacekeepers close in, until cargo door forced to close. He doesn't make it aboard. Chaff of District 11 on roof of Capitol's Tribute Center. Not extracted. Captured, later executed, name added to ledger of Capitol's crimes. His choice to turn back is emotional hinge of entire timeline. Moment when rebellion becomes more than military operation, becomes statement about what kind of people these are, what they're fighting to be, not just defeat. Aboard the Nighthawk, 321 to 547. Flight to District 13. Medical bay designed for crew of 8. Contains 37 people. Many wounded, all in shock. Casualty count accumulates. Dead or unaccounted. Cedar KAA. Chaff captured. Tribute from District 9 dies during Flight H-17. 3 District 13 crew lost in aerial engagement. Wolf died from blood loss en route. 1 District 5 victor. Wounded, 14 victors. 3 tributes, Katniss shoulder, Johanna leg, Alaric back. Uninjured, Prim. Peta, Finnick strikes him as injustice. 12 victors, 17 tributes. Total extracted, 49 people. Prime sits beside Katniss while medic works on shoulder. Assists, healer's hands. Precise movements, when medic steps back for supplies, Prim continues without pause. Katniss watches her sister's hands, 13 years old, treating bullet wound, steady, competent, unafraid. We made it. Katniss's voice quiet, exhausted. Not all of us. Prim doesn't stop working. Cedar, Chaff. The others, no, not all of us. Silence, just Prim's hands and the wound and the hovercraft moving north. Through dark, across the bay, Chaff's daughter sits alone, 15 years old. Father captured, hasn't spoken to him in 2 years. Last words they exchanged. He was coming for her. She took his hand. Now he's gone. Finnick sits beside her, doesn't speak, just there, present. After several minutes, she leans against him, starts crying. Finnick holds her. Around the bay, similar scenes, victors and tributes, wounded and whole, survivors processing what just happened, what it cost, what comes next. They're alive. Most of them, extracted, free, but freedom has a price. Always does. The price is written in blood on the Tribute Center roof, in Cedar's body, in Chaff's capture, in the dead left behind. The question is whether that price buys something worth having, whether what they build next justifies what they paid. That answer comes later, in District 13, in the war in the world they create after. For now, there's just the hovercraft, the wounded, the survivors, moving north through the dark toward whatever comes next. District 13, underground complex. Day +1, 6 o'clock hours. The hovercraft lands in District 13's subterranean hangar. Massive space carved from rock, military precision, cold. Functional President Alma Coin waits on the landing platform, 50+. Gray hair, severe features, discipline incarnate flanked by medical teams, security, command staff. The cargo door opens. Wounded first, stretchers, medical personnel moving with practiced efficiency. Alaric carried out unconscious. Johanna limping but refusing assistance. Katniss walking, Prim beside her. Coin approaches Katniss directly. Miss Everdeen, welcome to District 13. My sister needs... Coin's tone leaves no room for argument. You need medical attention. Then debriefing. I'm not leaving her. You don't have a choice. Coin gestures. 2 soldiers move forward. Not threatening, but present. This is a military facility operating under martial law. You will be treated, you will be debriefed, your sister will be safe. I guarantee it. Prim speaks up. Katniss, go. I'll be fine. Prim, I survived the Tribute Center. I can handle a medical exam. Prim's voice steady, calm. Go. I'll find you after. Katniss watches her sister walk toward the medical processing area, surrounded by strangers. In an underground bunker, further from home than she's ever been, but alive. That's what matters. Alive. Medical bay, 7:30 hours. Katniss sits on exam table while Dr. District 13 physician, efficient, impersonal, works on her shoulder wound. Through and through. No arterial damage. Clean as bullet wounds go. You were fortunate. 2 centimeters left would have shattered your clavicle. 2 right would have severed the subclavian artery. You would have bled out before reaching the hovercraft. Wasn't aiming for fortunate, was aiming for my sister. The doctor doesn't respond, finishes suturing. Bandages. No strenuous activity for 2 weeks. Physical therapy starts tomorrow. You'll have limited range of motion for approximately 6 weeks. I need to see my sister. After debriefing. President Coin's orders. I don't care about you should. You're in District 13 now. President Coin's orders aren't suggestions. They're law. The doctor helps her into a gray District 13 uniform. Standard issue. Someone will escort you to debriefing. Conference room. 9 o'clock hours. Katniss sits across from Coin. Plutarch Heavensby beside her. Head game maker turned rebel architect. Round face, sharp mind. Came to District 13 after his own extraction, burning considerable capital goodwill. Coin speaks first. The tribute center operation succeeded beyond our projections. 23 tributes extracted, 18 victors, casualties within acceptable parameters. Acceptable? Katniss's voice sharp. Cedar is dead. Chaff is captured. 5 others dead? That's acceptable to you? War requires sacrifice. The question is whether the sacrifice achieves the objective. This one did. The objective was getting them out. We lost people doing it. And saved 49. That's a net positive by any tactical assessment. Coin leans forward. But this extraction changes our strategic position significantly. Snow expected to control the narrative through the games, expected to break the victors by forcing them to watch their families die. Instead, we demonstrated the capital is vulnerable, that victors unified are a force capable of striking the capital directly. Plutarch adds, the footage of the roof extraction is already circulating in the districts. Capital citizens watching their own military get overwhelmed by victors and tributes. It's devastating to Snow's image of invincibility. So we're propaganda now. You've always been propaganda. The question is whose propaganda and to what end? Coin's voice flat. Clinical. Which brings me to why you're here. I need to understand your psychological state, your operational capacity, your willingness to continue fighting. My willingness? You just said we're at war. War requires willing soldiers. Conscripts are liabilities. I need to know if you're willing or if you're just here because your sister is. The question beneath the question, will she fight for the rebellion or just for Prim? What do you want from me? I want you operational. I want you leading missions. I want you using the skills that made you dangerous in the games to make you dangerous to the capital. Coin slides a tablet across the table. These are potential assignments. Review them. Tell me which you're capable of executing. Katniss scans the list. Assassination operations, supply line disruptions, intelligence gathering, propaganda broadcasts, tactical assault leadership, all violence, all risk, all necessary. I have conditions. State them. 1. Prim gets formal medical training, works in the hospital, not on the front lines. 2. The surviving victors are integrated into operational planning, not used as figureheads. 3. The rebellion doesn't engage in indiscriminate civilian targeting in the capital. 4. Snow is my kill. Coin considers, I agree to 1, 2, and 3. 4 is negotiable depending on tactical circumstances. Not negotiable. Snow targeted my sister, put her in that center, made her a tribute. When we get to him, he's mine. I'll take it under advisement, but I don't make promises I may not be able to keep. Coin stands, you're assigned to Victor Corps. High-risk operations, report to training facility at 14 o'clock, dismissed. Katniss doesn't move. Where's Prim? You'll be assigned quarters in the military wing. You can visit her during designated free time. She's 13 years old. She needs to adjust to life in District 13 like everyone else. We don't make exceptions, can't afford to. Coin's expression softens. Barely. She survived the tribute center. She's stronger than you think. Let her prove it. Civilian Processing Center, 10 o'clock hours. Prim sits in a waiting room with the other extracted tributes. 23 children and young adults, ages 11 to 21. All in gray District 13 uniforms. All processing what just happened. The 11-year-old from District 6, the one Alaric shielded, sits beside Prim. Is your sister the archer? The one who shot from the roof while running? She's amazing. She didn't even slow down when she got shot. She's had practice not slowing down. Prim looks at the girl. What's your name? Lily. My dad was a victor. Won the 68th games. He died on floor 6, protecting me. The weight of this settles. Lily's father, the District 5 victor in the casualty count, dead so his daughter could escape. I'm sorry, he told me before we left our room. He said if it came down to choosing between him making it and me making it, he'd choose me every time. I didn't understand what he meant until... Lily's voice breaks. Until I saw him not get up. Prim takes her hand. 11 years old and already carrying impossible grief. He made sure you survived. That means something, but he's still dead. It means he loved you more than he loved himself. That's not nothing. Lily cries quietly. Prim holds her hand. Around the room, similar scenes. Tributes processing loss, survival. Guilt of living when others died. A District 13 officer enters. Tributes will be assigned quarters in residential wing. Medical training for those with aptitude begins tomorrow. Combat training for those requesting it begins in 3 days. Psychological counseling is mandatory. Questions? Coral from District 4 raises her hand. When can we see our mentors? Victors are assigned to military operations. Contact will be limited. You'll see them during designated recreation periods. Limited, they just got us out of the capital. They're our family. And they're also soldiers in an active war. This facility operates under military discipline. Everyone has assignments. Everyone follows protocols. No exceptions. The officer softens slightly. You'll see them, just not as often as you'd like. Get used to it. You're in District 13 now. Nothing here is what you'd like. It's just what's necessary. 14 o'clock hours. Katniss arrives at the military training complex. Deep underground, converted storage area transformed into combat preparation center. 21 surviving victors assembled. Plus Alaric, not a victor but functions as one after the roof. Wounded but functional. Refused medical leave. Finnick presides. Unofficial but acknowledged leader. Welcome to Victor Corps, Specialized Operations Unit. We're not regular soldiers. We're assets with specific capabilities developed through years of surviving things designed to kill us. District 13 needs those capabilities. We're going to provide them. BT District 3, technical genius, extracted from his home before the Quell. Steps forward. I've been working with District 13's Technical Warfare Division. We're developing systems to disrupt capital communications, power infrastructure, transportation networks. I need field operatives who can deploy these systems in hostile territory. Victors are ideal. You're trained to operate independently in lethal environments. Johanna, what kind of operations? Supply line disruptions, power station sabotage, communication relay destruction, high-value target assassinations, precision strikes that maximize strategic impact while minimizing civilian casualties. BT displays holographic map. 37 high-value nodes across capital infrastructure. We hit these, capital's military coordination collapses. Brutus from District 2, how long? 4 to 6 months for the infrastructure campaign. Then the capital assault. Then snow. Katniss, I want assault team assignments. Close-range precision work. Finnick, granted. You'll lead Team 1, Peeta leads communications and propaganda. Johanna leads Team 2. Direct action. Brutus and Lime handle District 2 coordination. We need the nut. BD runs technical operations. Everyone else distributed based on capabilities. Around the room, victors accepting assignments. Not from obligation, from choice. They extracted their families. Now they're going to end the system that threatened them. Haymitch enters late. Sober. Sharp. Sorry. Was checking on the tributes. Making sure they're actually being taken care of. Are they? Katniss asks. As much as they can be in a military bunker under martial law. Prim asked about you. I told her you're operational. She said to tell you she's fine and stop worrying. She's 13 and she carried operational intelligence through the tribute center without getting caught. She's tougher than you think. Let her be tough. Haymitch looks at the assembled victors. We all are. That's why we're here. That's why we're going to win. Month 2. Infrastructure war begins. The Victor Corps deploys across Panem. Teams of 3 to 4 victors. High-risk operations, surgical strikes against capital supply lines. Katniss leads Team 1, herself, Finnick, and 2 victors from Districts 7 and 10, assigned to District 5's power grid. Hydroelectric dam, if destroyed, cuts power to capital and Districts 1, 2, 6. They infiltrate at night, using BT's technical specifications. Find the vulnerable points, plant charges, set timers, 30 minutes to evacuation point when Capitol Patrol intercepts them. 8 peacekeepers, 4 victors, close quarters engagement. Katniss doesn't hesitate, doesn't think. Just moves. Arrow through first peacekeeper's throat. Reload. Second peacekeeper down. Third, Finnick beside her. Trident work. Fast, brutal, efficient. 2 more down. The District 7 victor. Blight, Johanna's escort, takes a hit. Shoulder. Non-fatal. Keeps fighting 90 seconds, all 8 peacekeepers dead. No victor casualties beyond Blight's shoulder wound. They make evacuation point. Hovercraft extracts. 30 seconds later, charges detonate. Dam's control systems destroyed. Power grid failure cascades across 3 districts. Mission success, first of many. Month 3, Katniss visits Prim. Recreation period, designated free time. 1 hour per week, Katniss finds Prim in the medical training wing, apprenticed to District 13's chief physician. Learning advanced trauma care. They have you working already? Better than sitting in quarters thinking about the tribute center. She sets the book down. How are you? District 8's textile factories 3 days ago, moving to District 11 next. You're killing people. Statement, not question. Prim knows what these missions involve. I'm removing obstacles to ending the war. Same thing I did on the roof. Is it? Prim's voice quiet. Not judgmental. Curious. On the roof, you were protecting us. Now you're attacking them. That's different. Katniss sits beside her sister. Snow put you in that center. Made you a tribute. Put a target on your back. As long as he's alive, as long as the capital exists, you are not safe. None of us are. So yes, I'm attacking them. Until they can't hurt you anymore. And after? When the war is over? When Snow is dead? What then? I don't know. Haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe you should? Prim takes her hand. I'm okay, Katniss. I'm safe. You saved me. You can stop now. You can just be here. With me. Can't stop. Not while the war is still happening. Then at least promise me you'll stop when it's over. Promise me you won't become someone who only knows how to fight. Katniss wants to promise. Can't. Doesn't know who she'll be when the war ends. If she'll even survive to see it end. I promise I'll try. It's the best she can offer. Prim accepts it. Month 6. The campaign accelerates. 32 of 37 target objectives achieved. Capital's infrastructure degrading rapidly. Communications unreliable. Power intermittent. Supply lines disrupted. Districts begin open rebellion. District 11 first. Agriculture workers seize grain stores, cut off capital food supply. Peacekeepers attempt suppression. District 11 workers outnumber them 40-1. Within 3 weeks, District 11 fully controlled by rebellion. Cedar's death, broadcast footage of her on the roof, dying while protecting tributes, becomes rallying cry. Not this time spreads as slogan. District 11 workers refusing to let capital take any more. District 2 next. Career Victor's defection provides tactical knowledge capital never imagined they'd lose. Brutus and Lime lead assault on the Nut. 11 days of combat, heavy casualties both sides. But the Nut falls. Capital loses 80% of weapons manufacturing. Districts 3, 4, 7, 8 follow. Each uprising unique, each following similar pattern. Local resistance activated by Victor Network. Coordinated with District 13. Supplied, trained. Led within 6 months of the Tribute Center extraction, rebellion controls 8 of 12 districts. Capital surrounded, weakening. Desperate. Month 10, the march on the capital begins. Combined rebel force, 15,000 fighters, District 13 professional military plus district insurgents, integrated into unified command. Katniss leads deep penetration element, 21 victors plus Alaric. Mission, eliminate capital command and control nodes. Render military directionless. Create chaos. The assault plan is Plutarch's masterwork. Conventional ground forces as battering ram, Victor Corps as surgical strike team, Goal, not fight capital military to standstill. Render it leaderless. Katniss moving toward specific room in presidential mansion where specific man grows white roses. Days plus 287 through plus 294. The capital falls. 7 days street by street fighting, grinding, costly, bereft of clean narrative lines. Buildings change hands, same buildings change hands again. Capital civilians in the middle for first time in living memory. The psychological effect on capital citizens of being in the thing they watched others endure is difficult to overstate. Not immediate transformation, slow, nauseating recognition that the rules stopped applying. Day plus 289. Victor Corps deep penetration operation begins. 21 Victors plus Alaric enter Capital's inner security perimeter through maintenance tunnels Finnick's intelligence mapped. 50 feet underground. Concrete. Fluorescent lights. Capital construction, they lose 3 people in the tunnels. Booby traps Snow's security seeded through maintenance network. Desperate measures of security force running out of options. Among the dead, career Victor from District 2, 24 years old, survived his games at 17, chose right side of history, paid for it. Remaining 18 reach inner mansion precinct day plus 292, day plus 293. Snow's endgame. Snow opens presidential mansion to Capital civilian refugees. Thousands. Children, elderly, seeking shelter from street fighting. Human shield. Also tactical admission of defeat. Man who believed in his power would have defended with military force. Made rebels pay for every meter. Instead, using lives of people he governed as currency in negotiation he knows he's already lost. Coin's War Council. Before final assault, Coin raises what she frames as strategic question. Present, Katniss, Peeta, Plutarch, Finnick, surviving senior leadership. I propose a final symbolic Hunger Games, using capital children as tributes. Demonstration of rebel justice, means of achieving cathartic closure for victimized districts. Silence, shock, disgust. Then Katniss, yes. Everyone stares at her. Peeta, Katniss, I vote yes, her voice flat. Cold. They put Prim in that center. They put all 24 tributes there. They deserve to feel what we felt. Coin looks satisfied, others horrified. Vote continues around the table. Finnick, no. Absolutely not. We're not becoming them. Johanna, no. I'm done with the games. Done watching children die. Haymitch, no. We end the games. We don't restart them with different targets. Vote fails, narrow margin, but fails. Coin's expression reveals nothing. Very well. The proposal is declined. Meeting ends. Everyone disperses. Plutarch catches Katniss in the corridor. That was a diagnostic test, wasn't it? You don't actually want another games. No, but I wanted to know if Coin did. Now I know. Katniss looks at him. She's exactly what Snow said she'd be. Different face, same system. She would have done it if we'd voted yes. What are you going to do about it? Whatever needs doing when the time comes. Day plus 294. The execution. Snow brought before gathered crowd. Rebel leadership. Capital citizens. District representatives to be executed publicly. Post-conflict protocol established. Katniss given assignment of executioner. Coin's symbolic gesture. Girl who is almost broken by Snow, completing the arc. Good theater. Snow visibly dying from wounds sustained in Siege's final stages. Awaits execution with resignation and contempt. Katniss stands before him. Arrow knocked. Bow drawn. Aimed. Looks past Snow. At Coin on reviewing platform. At woman who would have restarted the games. Who would become what they fought against. Katniss pivots releases. Arrow flies not at Snow, but upward, into reviewing platform. Alma Coin dead before hitting floor. Crowd's reaction not immediate comprehension. Shock. Chaos. Then, in districts, watching broadcast, recognition she saw what we couldn't yet, saw it before it happened again. Snow dies in subsequent chaos. Laughing, blood on lips from his own poison. Dies laughing because he thinks rebels would become what they fought. Thinks this proves him right. He's wrong. Partial happening of thing he predicted not same as thing itself. Execution of Coin not installation of new tyranny. The one clean moment in entire bloody campaign. Point where revolution chose to break cycle rather than continue it. Snow dies laughing at something he didn't understand. Died like that his whole life. The aftermath. Months +1 through +12, Panem reorganized under transitional council, district representatives, surviving capital moderates, small number of victors in advisory roles. Plutarch architects transitional process, genuine idealism combined with complete tactical cynicism. Understands perfect cannot be enemy of functional. Functional requires participation of people whose hands aren't clean. Hunger Games abolished, no formal ceremony, BT disables arena systems over weekend. When he tells people it's done, most common response is silence, not relief. Silence. Games occupied so much psychological space that absence doesn't feel like freedom. Feels like standing in a room where furniture's been removed. Keep trying to sit in chairs no longer there. Prim completes medical training, began informally on tribute train, continued formally in District 13 hospital through entire war. Graduates at 16, young, but no one who worked with her argues readiness. Specializes in trauma and reconstructive care. Treats former victors, former peacekeepers. Capital citizens whose injuries came from rebel operations. Doesn't distinguish between them. Not forgiveness. Hasn't found definition of forgiveness that makes sense yet. Something more basic. Body in pain is body in pain. She is healer. Not unaffected by what she's been through. 13, when reaped, watched people die 12 feet away. Knows what knife feels like in her hand. Knowledge she wouldn't have chosen but can't unchoose. Has nightmares. Talks to Katniss about them. Katniss talks about hers. Not healed by these conversations, but incrementally less alone in their damage. Katniss returns to District 12, not destroyed like an original timeline. Never firebombed. Small, struggling, but alive. She plants things. Hunts sometimes, not for necessity, because woods are one place where her mind goes quiet. Gale is gone, different falling out, different reasons, but distance the same. He's in District 2, helping rebuild. Transforming from military economy to civilian production, they tried to maintain friendship. Couldn't. Too much violence between them. Too much shared damage that processed differently. Peeta is there. Eventually, Peeta is not just there, but chosen. When this choice comes, it's not compensation or settling or conclusion to romance story. Practical decision made by someone who's done enough surviving to know what keeps them alive. Years later, visiting historian. Historian from New Capital's Transitional Archive visits District 12. Asks Katniss to describe moment she's most proud of from the revolution. Doesn't answer question is asked. Says, Prim told me to stop at the reaping. She was 13 years old and she told me to stop screaming, and I stopped. Because even then, even at the worst moment, she knew something I didn't. That we were going to do this together. That it wasn't going to be me saving her, it was going to be us. Historian asks what the us referred to. Two sisters or something larger. Both. Always both. Katniss at the Memorial Garden, District 12. 5 years post-war, the garden honors those who died in the revolution. Cedar, Chaff, Woof, the District 5 victor. The others, small plaques, names, ages, districts, separate section for capital casualties. Peacekeepers who died during uprising, civilians caught in crossfire. Names, ages. Home districts, not separated as enemies and allies. Just dead. All of them. Cost of the war. Katniss stands before Cedar's plaque. Reads the inscription, Cedar of District 11, victor of the 42nd Hunger Games, died protecting children on the Tribute Center roof. She said, I'm not going to watch children die, not again, not once more. She kept that promise. Besides Cedar's plaque, Chaff's. Chaff of District 11, victor of the 45th Hunger Games, captured during the Tribute Center extraction, executed 3 days later. He turned back for her. That choice defined him. Same flowers Prim taught her to identify on the tribute train, medicinal herbs, healing plants. Prim appears beside her, 21 now. Fully trained physician, confident, strong, scarred but functional. You come here a lot, once a week, sometimes more. Katniss doesn't look away from the plaques. They died getting you out, getting all of you out. Least I can do is remember. I remember too. Every day. Prim places her own flowers. Lily from District 6, the 11-year-old Alaric shielded. She's a doctor now, works with me in District 4's hospital. She treats children exclusively, says it's because her father died protecting her. She protects them. What about the others, the tributes, scattered across Panem? Most doing okay, some struggling. Coral from District 4 is a fishing instructor, teaches children ocean survival, says Finnick taught her to fight, but she wants to teach them to live. Alaric runs the bakery in District 12, makes the same bread his family made, says PETA taught him that creation is better than destruction. Katniss processes this. 23 tributes extracted, most survived, most functioning, most building lives from the wreckage. And you? You okay? Most days. Some days I'm 13 again, standing on that reaping stage, watching you being held back by peacekeepers, knowing I had to be calm so you could function. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than the tribute center, harder than the roof. Being calm when every instinct said to run to you. You saved my life that day, giving me something to focus on besides screaming. Prim, you saved mine too. Every day for 13 years before that, every day since, we saved each other. That's what us means. Prim takes her hand, same wrist, same grip. We saved each other, and we're still saving each other. That's what family is. They stand together in the memorial garden. Two sisters who survived a system designed to kill them, who fought back, who won, who paid for it, who keep paying for it, but who survived. Together, always together. The final image, sunset, the meadow outside District 12. Katniss and Prim walking, hunting bag over Katniss's shoulder, medical kit over Prim's. Coming back from the woods, they found medicinal plants. Prim needed them for her clinic. Katniss knew where they grew. They went together, because that's what they do. Together, always together. The mockingjays sing around them. Capital mutations crossed with natural birds shouldn't exist, but do. Thriving, symbol of survival through adaptation, through resistance, through becoming something the oppressor never intended. Like the rebellion, like the victors who turned, like the children trained for the arena who refused to enter it, like two sisters from District 12 who were told one would die for the capital's entertainment, who decided neither would, who made that decision together, who kept that promise. Panem is free, not because of hope, because of choice, because of children who chose each other over a system that demanded their separation, because of victors who chose solidarity over isolation, because of people who were given two options, comply or die, and chose a third. The games are over, the arena's silent, the tribute's safe, the victor's healing. And Katniss and Prim, 17 and 20, sisters, survivors, fighters, healers, walk home together through the meadow as the mockingjays sing. Let us know what alternate Hunger Games timeline you'd like to see next in the comments below. The end.